draw the best attention out of people. And so if you look at the top, we can see Join Half Club up here. What is Pay Half Club? How does it work? We've got referral program, get the Pay Half Club app and find a restaurant. So in a lot of websites, when you click that, it'll actually take you to a brand new page on a website. For us, when you click that, it's just going to scroll you down to the page in the appropriate area. So as we walk through this website together, one thing that should stand out for you is that on every section, there's these beautiful images of just food, right? It just makes you hungry. It makes you thirsty. That's obviously on purpose. So we are a lifestyle brand, right? We're a technology company, but we're a lifestyle brand. It's our purpose to have consumers from around the country be able to interact at restaurants and do that cheaper, right? So 58% of everybody in this country would love to go out to restaurants more. They just can't afford it. Half of the country would love to go out to dine more often. They can't afford it. And so what we are giving those 150 million consumers around the country, we're giving them the ability to enjoy amazing food at incredible restaurants with awesome service. That's a key word, is that we want to have great service with our establishments. And they're going to do that at essentially half the price. We're going to give them half off their entrees, half off their alcoholic beverages in approved states. So let's scroll through this website together. The first comment that we get to on the screen is, one cannot think well, love well, or sleep well if one has not dined well. That's by Virginia Woolf, which is really, if you don't know her, she's really awesome. Check her out. But as we scroll down, it's just going to tell the story about our website and our company and what we're all about. And so here we see a little image box, and it's a video box, and that's going to be our consumer video. Okay, we're going to share that with you very soon. In the next couple of days, we'll share you the first iteration of our consumer video. Our owner's video has actually been done. We've made some tweaks to it even as early as a couple of hours ago. A lot of you have already viewed that owner's video. Regional marketing directors, I would encourage you, if you haven't sent out the link to the restaurant owner video yet to your area marketing managers, I would do so. It's going to let them see what our voiceover is like, what our video is like, and essentially what the sales process looks like to the restaurants themselves. Everywhere that you look on this website, we're going to have a button that says Join Pay Half Club, right? So we're trying to drive consumer behavior to actually join our program to enjoy the 50% off. So we're going to keep scrolling down. Again, another amazing picture of some food. And this here is an actual example of one of our technology consultants who went out to eat at a pretty popular steakhouse in Texas. He went out with his family of four. So it was him, his wife, and 2 kids. And he just wanted to see what his savings would look like. So here on the left, if you see his bill, it walks you through all the different food items that he got. So here's his appetizer, fried mushrooms. He got a porterhouse. He got a draft beer, it looks like. Mom got a ribeye. So his total bill for a family of 4 was $110.50. So what he said is, look, if I was on the Pay Half Club, if this had already been launched to restaurants, if this was December 15th, and I was already able to use this inside of establishments, what would my bill have looked like? And what he realized is that his bill would have been $65.50. He would have saved $45 in one single visit to one single restaurant. And as a consumer, it's $29.95 per month to be on this program. Guys, you've got to understand the value here to the consumers. It's consumers that drive everything, right? So it's great if we get awesome restaurants. It's great if you guys do your job and bring on 50 restaurants in your area. But if we don't attract consumers, and if consumers don't see a great value here, the company doesn't make money, and in essence, you don't make any money either. You're making money off of every single solitary person who chooses to enroll as a member on our program. And so this meal savings of $45 is incredibly important because a monthly fee is just $29.95. So this individual put $15 extra in his pocket on his very first visit to his very first restaurant the very first day he enrolled. That doesn't include the second, third, and fourth visits that week, or certainly for the rest of that month. Again, here's a large Join Pay Half Club button. And again, we're going to be introduced and greeted with a really nice Polish proverb, as well as a nice screenshot here of an image. It says, fish, to taste right, must swim 3 times in water, in butter, and in wine. The next section is going to go over to Share the Love, which is our referral program. So in case you don't know, let's just walk through that program together. So if you're a consumer and you enroll at a restaurant for $29.95 a month, what's going to happen is we're going to send you a text message and an email letting you know that if you refer 4 other paying members, then your fees go away. They're totally eliminated. as long as those 4 members continue to pay their monthly fee and be on the program. Okay, so we want to make sure that we drive that referral program behavior, because as you guys, as all of your restaurants sign up on the programs, they start to introduce this to the patrons in their establishment. We want them referring people all over the country. And so we're going to try to put that in front of them as often as possible. We're going to do that as soon as they enroll, and we're constantly going to do that inside of their mobile app. We're always going to ask them to refer other people, to waive their fees, right? Share the gift, press it forward, pay it forward. That's always going to be in front of them. Because $29.95 for a lot of people, it's not a huge pain point, right? So for middle Americans that have a middle-class job, as making $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a year, and their wife is working as well, $30 a month, it doesn't hurt that bad, especially when they have a lot of savings in restaurants. But they're like, the opposite is true as well. There's tons of people all over the country that would do anything to waive a $30 monthly fee, right? We know that referral program is going to explode with those people, but we also want to attract the higher income level people. We want them to refer their friends and family as well. So what we know to be true is that people share experiences, right? So if they have a great experience at a restaurant, and if that experience ends with them getting half off their food or half off their alcohol at a sports bar or even at a restaurant, they're going to share that experience with other people. We want to give them a way to share that very, very easily. So inside of the mobile app, with one button, they can share and refer other people, and you can start to drive memberships to the restaurants. Will drive the memberships, the consumers will drive the memberships, which in turn drives your revenue as an area marketing manager with us. Let's keep scrolling down. This is actually a picture of our mobile app here. We're going to show the mobile app in just a moment, but this is it on that iPhone that you're looking at in the picture. We keep scrolling down, and this just gives you an example of the mobile app. So these are actually fake restaurants in here right now that will be populated with new restaurants, and this page will be updated. Then obviously we're going to give you links to be able to download your from the Apple Store, the App Store, and then also the Android Market or the Google Play Store. So if you continue to scroll down this website, we're going to have a mapping system on the website so that folks, either in their own backyard or while they're traveling or while they're on vacation, can always find restaurants that are around them that offer the discounts. So all you do is simply type in the city and the state, what type of cuisine you're interested in, and then what type of prices. So the price point can be 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, right? Kind of like Yelp uses and a lot of other services use. OpenTable uses this. So like a $1 sign just means it's kind of a cheaper meal, like it might be a pizza place or a nice sandwich shop or a lunch menu item. If you have 4 stars, typically it's going to be your higher-end steakhouses or higher-end seafood. So below this, it's just going to give you additional links and additional information. Obviously, we're going to have our terms of service and all that kind of cool stuff and FAQs. But this is essentially our website. We are, again, this is on the dev server. We plan to take this website live in the next 3 or 4 days. So before you guys actually go out to restaurants and start to present this to restaurants, what we're going to do on our side is we're going to make sure that you're going to have a huge web presence. Okay, so restaurant owners, let's be honest, we're a new company. They don't know who we are. Say I'm with Pay Half Club, and fireworks don't go off behind their head. They're so excited to meet you. They have no clue who we are. And so one of the first things that they're going to do is one of the first things that all of us do as consumers. We hear about a new product, we hear about a new service, we hear about something cool. I'm going to type in google.com as fast as possible, and I'm going to type that in, and I want to figure out what that company and that service is all about. And so when your restaurants do that, here's my promise to all of you on the phone, is that they are going to be inundated with information about us, right? From press releases to all of our social media sites to websites to blogs. Our information will be everywhere by the time September 15th comes, and when the restaurants actually try to check us out and make sure that we're the real deal. So let's hop over to the mobile app here real quick. Let me bounce that page up for us. Okay, you guys should all be looking at a prototype of our mobile app. Okay, we are well beyond this point now. And this is just wireframes. It's just basically images and pictures of the functionality of our mobile app. And so I want to walk through that with you real quick. And then we're going to jump over to actual still images of our mobile app. Mobile apps are very hard to share on a website. So what we did is we dropped images into a Google Docs that we're going to show you. So basically, this is just a login page. We give people the ability to sign in with their Facebook account. They can sign in with an email address. They can continue on as a guest. So if you're brand new to the Pay Half Club concept and you're sitting in a restaurant and you download the mobile app, one of your first questions is going to be this. How many other restaurants are there around me that offer this program? Is it good restaurants? Is it bad restaurants? Are there steakhouses? Is there Italian food? Is there Mexican food? So we wanted to give people an opportunity to take us for a test drive, to allow them to see what type of restaurants are in their geographical area. Right? So they can look at a 5-mile radius or a 10-mile radius or look at a zip code to see what type of restaurants are on our platform inside of the mobile app. So we allow them to continue as a guest to be able to do that. So we're just going to scroll through this together real quick. This is our sign-up page. They're just going to type in their email address, a password, and a confirmed password. If they log in with their Facebook credentials, obviously this sign-up process isn't needed. And then if they have that specific restaurant, then if you click on that restaurant again, it's going to give you a lot of information about that restaurant that we'll see in just a moment. So a consumer can look at that menu and make a decision if that's the type of food that they want this evening or not. Again, we're going to have additional information of show more. So this is just the type of restaurant it is, locally sourced, seasonal ingredients. And then we're going to have a reviews section here at the bottom that will give the last 3 restaurant reviews. This is the ability to share information on that restaurant. So you can text message it out, you can email it out, you can use Twitter or Facebook to push information out, you can bookmark it, add it to your reading list, all the normal iPhone functions or Android functions that you would have on your native device. And then this is our profile screen. So when you enroll as a member, we're going to have your name, we're going to get your email address, and we're going to get your phone number as well. We're going to tell you how many reviews that you've left. If you ever want to click on your reviews at any time and you want to update the reviews or change the reviews, you have the ability to do that. Here towards the bottom of the screen, you're going to notice what looks like a digital membership card. Okay, that digital membership card is always going to let the restaurants know the date that your membership is valid. So remember, this is a 30-day subscription plan, right? So every month the consumer needs to re-up or resubscribe for $29.95. Now that's done automatically. It's on recurred billing. But if a consumer enrolls in April and they choose to cancel in August, they can't go to a restaurant in September and expect to be able to use their discounts. Okay, so this will show that it's valid through August. It won't update to the next month. Therefore, they don't get the discount at the restaurant. And then here we have a big share button. And then down here at the bottom, I just want to point this out again. As long as the 4 members are paying their monthly fee. And so once you click that, you can actually share that through Facebook, you can share that through Twitter, and you can also share that link via email if you wish. One more time. Okay, so we are actually going to look at screenshots of our mobile app. So here on the left-hand side, we have, there it is, our Pay Half Club logo. Okay, we've actually decided to get rid of that martini glass. We all really liked it, truth be told. But the reality is there's a lot of consumers around the country that just don't want to be correlated with, or they don't want to have an affinity with alcohol. Right? So it could be a recovering alcoholic. It could be somebody that unfortunately, had a family incident where, they were hurt or somebody died from an alcoholic type of accident. So we didn't want to necessarily be correlated with alcohol as prevalently as you see here. So we got rid of the martini glass. The Pay Half Club is still there. So you have the sign up button, you have sign in with email, then you have sign in with Facebook. If you've noticed, Twitter is gone. So the research that we did says that over 90% of the people that have a Twitter account also have a Facebook account. And if you give people the option of Facebook or Twitter, 92% of them are going to choose Facebook. So it just didn't make sense to continue on with Twitter. You can still share a referral link through Twitter. You just can't sign up through a mobile app through Twitter. We have an integration with Facebook. You can also sign in with an email address and password here. So we're just going to scroll through and look at a couple of these screens. Okay, so this is the forgot password screen that now has some nice visual enhancements to it. Once a user signs into the app for the very first time, they're going to come to a create account screen. So with this button here, they can load an image. So they can either take an image on the fly, right, through either their front camera or reverse camera. They can add in their first name, last name, email address, their password, confirm password, and then they simply sign in. After they do that, they're always going to come to this screen. So anytime you open the app and it goes through the little load-in videos, which are about 3 to 5 seconds long, So basically what's happening is the app, anywhere you are in the country, it's always going to pull fresh data, right, from your surrounding geographical restaurants. So it'll go through a nice little visual screen. It's got some small little videos there. It shows people like dining and eating. It's really cool looking, but you're always going to come to this main screen. It's always going to show you the 10 closest restaurants to you by default. Okay, so these are the 10 closest restaurants. This is 1.5 miles away. This is 0.5 miles away. This one doesn't quite scroll down far enough. So here you can save a restaurant to your favorites. You can flip back to your profile if you want to make profile updates. Here's our map screen. So if you look here, we're going to have color-coded maps. So one is going to be for restaurants. The other is going to be for sports bars and bar types of locations. Blue and orange may actually change here. We're probably going to go with a couple of different colors. But everything is going to be color-coded so that folks can find restaurants or sports bars, whatever they're looking for that evening. This one right here is the orange one has actually been pushed. So this has been touched, and below that it's going to give you information on that specific establishment. Okay, this is the filter screen. So again, sort by nearest alphabetical rating. Again, it just kind of graphically enhanced for you, same information that we showed through the prototype. And this is your favorite places screen. So I don't know how much all of you travel. I tend to travel quite a bit. Business kind of dictates that. So when I travel, I often go to really nice places, and then I'll go back there in 6 months or a year, and I forget the name of the restaurant. So inside of our app, it's going to give you the ability to notate your favorite places. So if you head back to New York, or head back to San Francisco, or head back to Austin, Texas, you're easily going to be able to find the restaurant that you visited through your favorites, which is kind of nice. This is a restaurant detail screen. So it's going to show a picture of the restaurant here. It's going to have the abilities as 20% of adults in this country still don't use a smartphone. Okay, that's like 35 million people in this country who don't have a smartphone. So my in-laws actually fall into this category. They still have these Motorola clamshell flip phone things. And God love them, it's awesome. They just haven't gravitated towards technology yet. So think about it from this perspective. If my in-laws walked into a restaurant, sat down, a waiter or waitress said, hey, do you want to save 50% on your food today? And their response is always going to be yes. And they say, cool, download this mobile app or go to this website and enroll. Right? There's some challenges there. One, they can't access a website. They can't download a mobile app. And so we've got to give those customers the ability to access their membership, right? Well, 2 steps. We have to give them the ability to enroll for a member on the spot in the establishment. And step 2 is we got to have them the ability to let the restaurants know that they're an actual member, right? So we don't have any expectation that members are going to remember some 6, 8, or 10-digit membership ID number, right? It's just not going to happen. And so for the consumers that don't have access to a smartphone or a smart device or an iPad or any of those other devices out there, we actually have an option to be able to send them a membership card. Okay, we're going to do that once a year, so it'll be an annual membership card. So remember, they're just paying monthly for the service, $29.95, but the card is good for a year. Okay, so when somebody walks in with a physical membership card, this isn't some plastic flimsy card. This is like a thick titanium, like Amex black card type of a card. So it's something that they want to show off, something that even a lot of people with a smartphone is going to want to carry in their wallet because it's really cool. They can do that for $4.95. We'll gladly ship them a card. That card will have a membership number, it'll have their name on it, and it'll also have their phone number. So if somebody walks into with one of those cards to a restaurant, the restaurant has the ability to look up their information in a back-end system. Okay, so they can type in their membership ID number on the card, they can type in their first name, last name on the card, they can also type in their phone number on the card and make sure that that member isn't active, right, that they're a paying member for that month. And also the actual physical card will also have a code on it, so they can actually scan the code. A lot of restaurant systems will have that capability to scan something. Some of them don't. For the ones that do and have the great technology, they'll get a lot more features with us. And we just have 1 or 2 more screens here. We have the review screen. We have write a review. We've seen that in the prototype. Get free membership screen, so refer other people. This is a settings screen, so I'll just spend a moment here, and this will pretty much be the last thing we look at for mobile apps. Is you can edit your membership info, you can edit your credit card information, you can share the app with other people, you can contact the company via email or through one of our like ticket systems. You can push consumers' information. So if they get close to a restaurant that's part of our program, we can let them know that they're near one of our restaurants. In addition, if they send a referral code out to somebody, we can push them information letting them know that one of their referrals actually signed up to be a member. We have a tutorial here to walk them through the mobile app. It'll also have our consumer video will be located there. We have terms of use, privacy policy, and then obviously just the ability to log out. So it pretty much walks through most of the mobile app functionality. That mobile app right now, it's the user interface is being finished on it. So a lot of the graphics and a lot of things that you see, we are updating that. So the company just hired a marketing firm located in Dallas, Texas. In fact, they're global. One of their offices are located in Dallas. They also have a satellite office in Austin, Texas, here in our backyard. And so what we're working with them to do is to make sure that we're creating the right image and the right branding for the company. So as they continue to roll out additional information for us, make tweaks to our styles, make tweaks to our logos, to our fonts, to our colors, all of that is going to be congruent across all of our platforms. Right? So that information will transfer to the mobile site, it'll transfer to our website, to our mobile app, it'll transfer over to our marketing collateral that the restaurants are going to use and the kit that we're going to send them. So just letting you know that the user interface is done, and so in the next couple of weeks we'll actually have a code that we can send all of you to be able to take our mobile app for a test drive. Okay, so with the test, you're not going to be able to download it straight from the iTunes store. Okay, so we're launching with Apple, and then after that we're going to launch with Android. Okay, so if you have an Apple phone, you're going to have a link, a direct link that we're going to send you. That link is going to allow you to download the application to your phone. You can take our mobile app for a test drive. Okay, so we're going to have roughly 1,100 people that are going to be test driving our application before September 15th. Because when you guys go into the restaurants, right, we want you to have the mobile app available on your Apple phones, also on your Android phones, and we want it to work well, right? We want it to work very, very well. But in addition, our website will be finished and our back office system will be finished, which we'll show you guys in the next training that will actually be ready to go on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So let's just scroll out of this real quick, and we're just going to pull our website back up and just talk to you here for a minute. Oh, I made that really big. Okay, so I just wanted to give you some expectations of what's going to come over the next couple of days. First off, a lot of you have already received business cards from us. Okay, for those of you that have not, if you've already filled out your contract, you've already been contracted with the company, expect to receive business cards from us in the next couple of days. Okay, so for those of you who have already received a business card, you have a Pay Half Club email address already set up. Okay, those are not live and active for you yet. They will be live and active in the next couple of days. So inside of that email address, we have a full suite of Microsoft products for you all. Okay, so that's going to include Microsoft Office. It's going to include Microsoft Outlook. It's going to include Yammer. If you're familiar with Yammer, it's basically an internal social media site, right? So if you guys come into Yammer, you're going to be able to interact with everybody at the company, right? From the marketing team to the sales team. You're going to be able to interact with your regional marketing director. You're going to be able to share ideas, share insights, get sales tips, sales techniques. All that stuff is inside of Yammer. So it's basically Facebook for Pay Half Club. Right? So we have it broken down into different categories of social media, sites, consumer awareness, sales goals, all that kind of stuff. So as you guys go in there, you'll get access to a ton of information that we've been working to develop over the last few weeks. Our regional marketing directors have been using that very, very successfully. And they've been sharing ideas, sharing information. You guys will also have that same access. So what will happen is we have an old email address for you on file. So as our technology team starts to make your email addresses and your Microsoft Office accounts live, you're going to get an email with a link to your old email address that we have for you. It's going to give you a temporary password. So you just click on the link, put in your temporary password, change that to a password that you're going to remember, and then you're going to get access to our full suite of Office Online products. So we have an enterprise account that you guys are really going to enjoy and really appreciate. Other than that, just remember that we have a road show coming up. That's going to be on September 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's going to be all across the country. The team is going to be in 8 different locations. I think on the 10th, we're going to be streaming that live. Is that the 10th? Okay, we're going to stream it live from New York. And And so for the area marketing managers that simply can't not get to a training, right? This is, I would call a mandatory training. Okay, you guys need to be there. We're going to train you how to go into restaurants. A lot of you may know this, but you don't know how to do it with our offering. You don't know how to do it with our product. You don't know how to do it with our service. The owner of the company, myself, has tested this program at 140 restaurants around the country. Okay, we were in Orlando, Florida. We went to San Francisco. We went up to New York. We went to Charleston, South Carolina. We were in Dallas, Texas. We were in Austin, Texas. We went all over the country and sat down with restaurant owners, and we tested what works the best. Okay, what you never want to do is walk into a restaurant with slivers of knowledge. Okay, because the first time they ask you a question or they have some type of an objection or you have to overcome some type of a hurdle or some type of an obstacle that probably isn't there at all in the first place, if you don't have the correct information to be able to share with them, if you don't have the right sales tools and the sales material, if you don't have our video that's ready to show them and walk them through the sales platform and walk them through what the company's all about, what the value proposition is to the owners of restaurants, what the value proposition is to consumers, I'll be totally candid with you, you're probably going to fail. Okay, if you fail, it means you're going to get disenchanted, you're going to think the program doesn't work, the restaurants don't want to sign up, and I can tell you this because I've lived it and walked it and breathed it for the last 6 months, that is the opposite of the truth. Okay, we have regional marketing directors that are testing this after they've been trained. They're walking into a restaurant with a great deal of success with restaurant owners. We have several of them on this phone call who have walked in that had multiple chains or franchises, right? 10 locations, 14 locations, 22 locations. And the only question the owner of these restaurants had was this: can I sign up all of them? Right? Can I bring them all to the platform? Not how much money am I going to make, not how does this work, and not is this going to work, or is consumers going to like this? None of those questions, very rarely those questions come up. The questions are, can I bring all my restaurants onto this platform? And I'll just let you know now, the answer is no. Okay, the answer is always going to be no. In phase 1, we have 50 establishments for each area, okay, for a total of 15,000, give or take, restaurants around the country. Okay, so if we have an owner that owns 9 seafood places in San Francisco, he can't sign up all 9 of his seafood locations in San Francisco on our platform. Okay, we have to make sure that we have a wide variety of cuisines that are available to consumers. We have to make sure that we attract blue-collar workers. We have to make sure we attract business workers trying to get to a quick lunch before a meeting. We have to make sure that we have some sports bar there to attract young college students and older guys at meetings, and a whole suite of restaurants. So if somebody has a chain or multiple locations of one cuisine, okay, get with your regional marketing director. They're going to walk you through how many of those restaurants can sign up, which one of those restaurants would be best on our platform. Don't just assume that you can walk in, find a chain that has 50 pizza places, and think I'm done. I brought on my 50 restaurants, game over. That's not going to fly with us, guys. We have to make sure that we have different cuisines. And so to do that, we're using a software platform. It's a data analysis mapping tool from a company called Buxton. And so what we do there is we're pulling the best restaurants in each one of your areas. Okay, so very shortly before you go to restaurants, so this will be in the next week or so, we're going to give you a report that gives you the top 100 restaurants in your area. Okay, and it's going to be a mixture of different types of cuisines. It'll tell you the best American food place that we want on our program, the best seafood place, the best steakhouse. Now, a lot of you are in the restaurant industry. You've breathed at that industry for a decade or longer. If you have solid relationships with restaurant owners and you think they'd be great for this program, meaning that they have a good number of seats, right? They're using, it's best if they even have a marketing system, right? So if they're gathering people's email addresses and they have the ability to contact those folks, you got to think the day that this rolls out on December 15th, what do? They take their restaurant referral code, they send that out to thousands of people, and all of a sudden they're driving revenue at $15 per month out of 400 or 500 people, because the tests that we've run say that 30 to 50% of every consumer that hears about this signs up on the spot. The value proposition is too strong. They sign up on the spot. So if they already have a excuse me, if they already have a database of people, that actually works hugely in their benefit. We want to make sure they have a large number of seats, right? So if we get a small restaurant in a shopping mall that has 15 seats in it, right, how many consumers are they actually going to be able to drive to the program? And further, and more importantly, is if they have 3,000 consumers around within a 5 or 10 mile radius, how many of those can they actually be able to take care of any given day or any given night? Right? They might be able to turn their tables 4 times in a night. That means they take care of 60 people. Guys, that's not going to cut it. We need them to have dozens and dozens of tables. If my preference would be, I'd rather them all have 50, 70, or 100 tables. We want larger establishments to be able to cater to all of our consumers that are going to be signing up on this program. So we just walk you through some different phases of rollout for us. Phase 1 is simply 50 restaurants in each geographical area. Each of you have been given a geographical area. Our expectations are that you're going to have 50 establishments signed up between September 15th and the end of November. Once we do that, and once the restaurants enroll the consumers and the referral program starts to do what it's going to do, after that we're going to roll out phase 2. Okay, 15,000 restaurants cannot cater to 20 million consumers around the country. They just can't do it. We need to have more restaurants, or every single restaurant on our platform is going to have a 1 or 2 hour wait, which means the consumer doesn't like that, right? They want to be able to dine and have a great experience. Having a 2 hour wait on a Tuesday night doesn't qualify for that. That's not a great experience at all. So once we have a certain number of consumers on our platform, we're going to open this up to phase 2. Okay, so in phase 2, each area will have 5 times the number of restaurants it started with. Okay, so you start with 50 restaurants. That means you're going to add an additional 250 restaurants. So you'll have a total of 300 restaurants in your area. Okay, I don't want to get too deep into logistically what that looks like and how that's going to work. Just know that that is coming. And so what that does is it gives you quite a bit of leverage with the first 50 restaurants. Okay, so there's a couple of key things that you can use for sales tools that I just want to keep in the back of your mind. We'll continue to do training on this as we move forward. But number 1 is phase 1. The first 50 restaurants, they're the only restaurants that get a money-back guarantee with us. Okay, so when the restaurants enroll for a one-time marketing fee of $2,500, okay, so what they get for that is we put their restaurant on our mobile app, we put it on our website, we digitize their menus if that's necessary. We give them their marketing kit, which is about a $450 budget marketing kit. Obviously, you're paying you guys commissions on that. You know where a bulk of that is going as well. And so for $2,500, they get a money-back guarantee. So the guarantee is if we don't increase their net, not their gross, but their net revenue by 25% in 90 days, we will gladly refund their $2,500 fee. Further, to take it a step further, if they choose, maybe they increase their profits by 30%, 35%. They'd be crazy to do this, but if they said, you know what, this program just isn't for me, I don't like it, I don't think this is a good fit, we want our money back, you know what, no problem. We'll gladly give them their money back as well, because we have hundreds, if not thousands of restaurants by the time we launch that will be begging to be on our program because the value proposition is so strong and because of the back-end revenue that these restaurants are going to be generating. So keep that in mind. Is that the first 50 restaurants, they have a guarantee. The second group doesn't. Also, and even more importantly, is that a restaurant in a geographical area, so take San Francisco as an example because I love the city, it's a good one. So in San Francisco, if you sign up a steakhouse in San Francisco, okay, that steakhouse has a territory around it. Okay, so they have a territory of 3 miles or 10,000 people. Okay, so they have a dedicated territory where no other steakhouse can be signed up in that area. Okay, they have exclusivity on that. So 10,000 people or a 3 mile radius. So if you go into a steakhouse in San Francisco and they say, oh, this kind of looks good, let me think about it, the response is, okay, no problem, just keep this in mind. Phase 1, right, the first 50 restaurants are the only ones that get a guarantee. In step 2, I'm about to walk across the street to your competitor, and if he signs up, there's a couple of problems. Number 1, he's going to steal some of your traffic. Right, you may have the best steak in town, you may have the best baked potato in town, you may have the best servers in town, you may have the best wine list in town, but if the steakhouse across the street is giving 50% off of their entrees and 50% off of your alcoholic beverages, you're about to find out just how loyal your customers are. They're going to go to that new restaurant. And further, we can't sign you up till phase 2. Right? I can't have another steakhouse in a 3 mile radius or 10,000 people. This other steakhouse is just too close, so you got a choice. I can either enroll you in the program, or I'm going to walk across the street and go to your competitor. Right? It's just the reality of sales. We're not a cutthroat type of organization. We're not trying to hurt anybody, but it just is what it is, guys. If a restaurant doesn't sign up, we're going to find somebody in their area that would love to sign up on our program. The first restaurant just misses out. Right? So in sales, that's a huge motivator for restaurants to not miss out. Don't push them over the edge. Right? We don't want to have restaurants signing up for $2,500 and the next day they change their mind and say, oh, I slept on it. This isn't right for me. So don't push them too hard. You're going to know instantaneously whether that restaurant owner gets it. Right? There's some people that just get it immediately, and there's some people that have a really hard time understanding how all this works. Right? They don't get referral programs. They don't understand why they would want to discount their food. They're just probably not a good fit on our program. Okay? Just go to the next person who totally understands what we're about, because once they get it, they never lose that vision. Okay? We have restaurants that have been approached with this months and months ago, and we still get phone calls and emails from them of, hey, when can we sign up? In fact, I just got a call from a gentleman in Tampa, Florida, and he said, look, Josh, here's the deal. I want to be the absolute first restaurant in the entire country that enrolls in this program. Can you do that for me, man? Can you do that? And he happens to be really close to the company because he's brought so much value to us. So I'm going to give him the ability to do that, but that just goes to show when a restaurant owner really understands what we're about, they're going to beg and plead you to get on this platform. You're not going to have to push very hard at all. So we've been going for about an hour now, about 50 minutes actually. We had that 5-minute sort of intermission where our audio was all messed up in the beginning of the presentation. But I just wanted to, give you an idea of sort of the technology that we're bringing to the table, let you walk through our mobile app. I want you to see our website so you know that we're a real company. Right? We're not just a bunch of sales guys running around. You're going to walk in, with a notebook. Like a 50-sheet notebook, a real notebook, not a notebook computer, and draw something out for a restaurant owner and say, isn't this awesome? Right? We're going to have amazing tools for all of you to be able to use for your restaurants around the country. Can expect to see some emails from us over the next couple of days, especially those of you that have attended this webinar. We're going to send you a thank you email, give you some additional information. We're going to make sure that we set you up with your email address and make sure that it's functioning for you. We're going to give you a video tutorial of how that works. Because Microsoft suite of products, as robust as it is, sometimes there's just some sort of nuances to it. And so we want to make sure that you can start to use that and get acclimated to that as soon as possible. In closing, guys, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you being here. We're looking forward to our next visit together. We're going to dive into some additional training. We're going to walk through our back office system so you guys can see how that works, where the marketing materials are to visit to restaurants, and how to sign restaurants up with contracts and take online payments and all that cool stuff. So until then, thanks everyone. Just get ready, right? Get ready. We're going to move really, really fast, and we're not apologetic about that. We do not want to have an opportunity for competitors to step in, so we are going to run this like a blitz. Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, we are going to inundate you with a ton of information. When September 15th comes, guys, it's just straight blitz for the next 8 weeks. Right? Sign up your 50 restaurants. Get ready. The marketing material's coming. The marketing kits are going out to restaurants. And we're going to run this thing like crazy on December 15th. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a great evening, and speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.